Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Preston here. So this is just gonna be a very quick, brief video of the UFC 290 fight. And it's gonna be Alexander the Great Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. In the co-main event, Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja. And the third fight, which is gonna be Robert Whittaker versus Dracus Duplessis. So let's start off with the main event. Well, actually, let's start off with actually Robert Whittaker versus Dracus Duplessis. So Robert Whittaker got good footwork, good head movement, good stamina, decent leg kicks, but does struggle getting hit with leg kicks, and a proper shot would knock out Whittaker, in my opinion at least. Now let's get to Dracus Duplessis. Dracus Duplessis got good takedowns, powerful hands, decent wrestling, good leg kicks, but might struggle getting back up from a takedown, and might get tired easily, then starts throwing sloppy punches. And also got some good, but also Dracus Duplessis got good volume also with his punches. You know, it's like he got heavy punches, but he also got good following up with his punches. And, you know, he just keeps throwing, you know. And, yeah. My final thoughts for this fight. This is going to be a very tough fight to call because both fighters are going to do good at their different styles of fighting. Robert Whittaker is going to do good at moving his feet around and then frustrate Duplessis because Duplessis got slow footwork, and that's when Whittaker is going to take over. And Dracus Duplessis is going to do good. Hold on, guys. And Dracus Duplessis is going to do good at being the counterpuncher whenever Robert gets too close, because one punch could hurt Robert Whittaker. And if Dracus does that, then he can easily stop Robert Whittaker. My final prediction. This is a tough fight, but I will have to lean more towards Robert Whittaker because of his footwork. And I feel like Duplessis has got lucky his last couple of fights. And this is a big step up because Duplessis is fighting someone that is ranked number 2 in the middleweight division. So my final prediction is Robert Whittaker by a split decision. Now let's get to the co-main event. The assassin baby Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja. But let's start off with the champion, Brandon Moreno. So Brandon Moreno has good speed with his takedowns, very quick hand speed, has painful punching, has good cardio, has a good chin, and has good submission defense. But does struggle with stronger fighters who have just as good as grappling as he does, and can get wrapped up with proper takedown timing also. But Pantoja is wait, hold on. But yeah. But now let's get to hold on. Oh yeah, now let's get to Alexandre Pantoja. Alexandre Pantoja, Alexandre Pantoja is a bit unbalanced with his footwork. Like, he doesn't know how to keep his feet together when striking, and that could be something that won't be that good and that will slow him down in the fight, but you never know. But Pantoja got strong strikes, very accurate strikes, does pretty good at avoiding grapples, strong balance, but I mean, like, even though, like, he might be unbalanced, but he still manages to not get dropped, so I mean, that's something that, that is good. But, yeah. My final thoughts for this fight. This is a good fight because both fighters are going to bring the heat. Moreno is going to do good at being more active with his shots. Then the last fight, like being more active, with his shots than his last fight, and make sure Moreno takes advantage. And make sure Moreno takes advantage of the times that Pantoja is resting and waiting for another shot to throw, and also utilize a little more grappling to then rack up more points. Pantoja is going to do good at making Moreno go back and to make Moreno hesitate because Moreno doesn't do good when a fighter is very accurate, just like I said, and that's what Pantoja, which is a very good counterpuncher and grappling artist of Alexandre Pantoja. My final prediction for this fight, this is going to be a good fight, but I feel like Moreno is only going to win because of Moreno's gas tank, because He's a lot more better now, and he's a lot more elusive all through the fight. And Pantoja doesn't fight with the same energy through the fight. So my final prediction is Brandon, the Assassin Baby Moreno, by a split decision. So I have 2 split decisions so far. And now we're going on to our main event of the evening. Alexander the Great Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. So Alexander Volkanovski got good leg kicks, does good at making fights his fights, has a very dominant jab, does really good at making fighters think too much, and overall has quick hands with good boxing skills, and does have very good wrestling, you know. But the thing is though with Alexander is, you know, he does get hit to the body with kicks, and overall just gets hit a lot with kicks, you know, and you know that's not good, especially fighting a guy like Yair Rodriguez, who is preferably a taekwondo artist, you know, and stuff like that. So I mean, you gotta really, fix that right there, because if he doesn't fix that, then I really don't think that. I really feel like he's in there for a tough night against Yair Rodriguez. But does tend to get exposed with leg kicks also, Volkanovski, but does tend to readjust that issue though. But it does take him a couple of tries for him to readjust. But what if Yair Rodriguez's leg kicks were too fast for him? You know, so then he couldn't really readjust, and you know that's something that's a big downfall in this fight. You know, and Volk does overthink when Volk knows that he's losing. You know, because whenever Volk knows that he's losing, because even against Islam Makhachev, I feel like he even knew he lost that fight. You know, it's like he was just too strong and stuff like that. It's like, you know, in Volk's face when he's losing a fight, and that might not look good though. You know, because like, you know, what if the judges gave the fight to, you know, Yair because of that issue? But now let's get to Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez got good kicks and can kick from awkward angles, obviously. Got some quick hands, mostly when Yair gets his opponents mad, when they are too scared to come inside, so they pretty much have to man themselves in to land punches against Yair. Yair also hits overall pretty hard, does good at mixing up his feet to then make the opponent go back because of a possibility of getting hit by a nasty leg kick. And also does pretty good at distancing himself and strongly believing in what he can do. But Yair doesn't do good against consistent flurries. And Yair also doesn't do good against wrestlers and stuff like that, because then that'll make him lose points and stuff like that. Like, he got good kicks, hard hands, but if somebody will just be in there and just will bang with Rodriguez, I feel like, you know, he doesn't really do good with that good of volume. Because you saw that against Max Holloway, you know. I know it's Max Holloway, but still, he was still getting hit a lot by Max Holloway and stuff like that, and you know, and he was, you know, forced to brawl and stuff like that. And whenever he's forced to brawl, you know, it's like he does good, but you know, it just he leaves his face quite open, so it's easier for him to get hit. You know, my final thoughts, also wrestling too, because Yair also, you know, gets taken down quite a bit in his career. You know, most times in his fights, he usually gets taken down. You know, maybe like once or twice, maybe more than that, but at least once in every fight. And fighting a guy like Volkanovski, I just don't think that's that good. You know, because Volkanovski is a very, very good wrestler, and he's a very strong ground and pound fighter. So, I mean, like, that's something that's going to be definitely not that good. But next up, you know, we got my final thoughts. This is going to be a very exciting fight, and I'm going to be so happy to be honored to watch the fight. And both fighters are very competitive and has a strong chance of winning the fight. Yair is going to do really good at making Volk think too much because of the kicks. Because in the Makhachev fight, he was getting hit a lot, Volkanovski, by kicks and punches and the wrestling of Islam, you know. And that's what kind of started, tiring out Volkanovski. I know Makhachev was bigger, but that's what was tiring out Volkanovski. And that was making Volkanovski not want to come in as much. And as much as he wanted, and he was getting frustrated because if Yair can frustrate and make Volkanovski go backwards because of Yair's power and make Volk not as confident, then Yair would have no problem easily winning this fight. Volk is going to do good at quickly bouncing in and out with his punches, and I feel like we are going to see Volk a lot more aggressive because he wants to make a statement against Yair. But I feel like the biggest thing with Volk is his wrestling, and I feel like he's gonna quickly take down Yair, and he'll quickly take down Yair here and there and stuff like that, but then beat Yair up even more when it comes down to the feet and leg kick the crap out of Yair's legs, so he don't move as much. So then he would have to brawl because Volk is a small dude, so he's going to have to fully commit in the inside, then go for a takedown to win this fight against Yair Rodriguez. That was a lot of information. But my final prediction for this fight, the main event fight, my final prediction in this fight will be Alexander the Great Volkanovski, because of his ability of being able to use all of his tools like wrestling and boxing, then also score points by beating up Yair when he wants to exchange. So my final prediction will be Alexander the Great Volkanovski by a unanimous decision win. So that's my final prediction, guys. I got Robert Whittaker defeating Dricus Du Plessis by a split decision, and I have Brandon Moreno defeating Alexandre Pantoja by also a split decision. And then I have Alexander the Great Volkanovski defeating Yair Rodriguez by a unanimous decision win. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm Preston, and peace out.